We're going to look at Palantir here on the weekly chart. Good news all around for the company. Had a nice little green opening in here. Thought, hey, you know what? We might just stay up here as the whole market has pulled back. Palantir might be the one in here that everybody kind of rotates to and saves. Actually, the exact opposite. Everything sold off in Palantir, and then the market had a little pop in there for just a little bit. So new 52-week lows coming in here for Palantir. No matter how you draw up your TA for the past however many weeks in here, it seems like it keeps on breaking down out of that and going further and further down. So no matter how you draw your upper and lower trend lines in here of your overall structure, you're always going to be breaking down. So right now, we're leaving this lower trend line on right here. You can see this candle is still kind of coming through that so far on the week. So we're going to leave that there. We're going to see where this weekly candle ends up. But overall, to the upside, we're going to look at those resistances that came in today. So those intraday resistances, which are going to be right at that 119 mark, basically. And then we're going to be looking up there near those upper 120s. If we're going to chalk it up and just say 121 are going to be our immediate resistances. Anything above there, long term, we're going to be looking all the way up here, right around that 138. But we really need to climb back into this overall structure here, which is going to be right at that 125, 126 mark in here. If we can climb back up into this, and then at least we'll be starting to respect something in here, right? It seems like no matter what you've been doing in here, TA wise, this thing just keeps on breaking down and breaking down further. A nice little pop in here in after hours from our little close that we had. So we're going to see what's going to happen for Palantir. It looks like everybody is still skewed to the call side in here. So that is good news for the options traders. It looks like now that we hit our 52-week low, it looks like everybody is still kind of bullish on everything in here, or at least the calls are getting eaten up, right? Just because they know that this thing could fly if it does get a big expansion to the upside. But until then, we're just going to kind of wait and see what happens in here. But all in all, good news for the company. There's nothing really bad in here. It's just this seems like this stock has been doing a whole lot of nothing. We're going to take a look at the new shiny toy in here in the market, which is going to be white fiber for us. Overall, on the weekly chart, I mean, just placing new highs in here. As you can see, we're up in the 46.87s. That is where our next resistance is going to be. That's a high that's come in this week so far. Anything above that, nice whole numbers, 47, 48, 49, 50, just letting the chart kind of dictate things. To the downside in here, we are going to be focusing mainly on that 40.75, but anything outside of there, we're going to be looking down here right around that $35 mark. And then obviously you have that 9-day EMA sitting in here, and that is relatively close to your lower trend line here, which is going to be at that 25 mark. So your 9-day EMA is sitting at 29, and then that lower trend line is going to be trading at that 25 mark. For your options in here, it looks like your IV ranking here is sitting at 69. Remember, we only have monthly expirations in here for your options. So it looks like everybody was kind of skewed to the call side in here, at least for the trading day today. Those 45s were getting hit hard. You have right around a $13 expected move being priced in by those July monthlies to go all the way up to August, right around 21 bucks. And you do have earnings coming up in August. So relatively new stock in here to trade, but it seems like a lot of people are jumping on it. So let's see what happens in here as I mean, we kind of bounced off this lower trend line in here and kind of took off, as you can see, ever since March, and especially in the past 3 weeks after this pullback in here in late May. Just a nice little bounce in here overall. Nice run up in there to those 47. So let's see what is going to happen as we continue throughout the week. We're going to see if we get any sort of recovery in here, or are we just going to kind of consolidate and stay up here, or are we going to get a pullback? It's kind of one of those three, right? Something's got to happen. But overall on the day, basically ended up in here flat. But we do have a lot of action on those 45 calls. So let's see what happens in here as we continue throughout this week. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.